Just how they're going to respond during the week of practice. That's why I felt good about this game, because they really practiced well Tuesday and Wednesday. Spirited, getting after it, challenging each other. And I really think at this point in the season, kind of near midway, you start, some teams get better and some teams get worse. I'm trying to make sure that we're in that upper half of getting better. And we got better this week during practices. We really competed, really fought. And I thought it showed out there from the standpoint of being able to run the ball and being physical. Because we struggled to throw it. Better be glad we could run it.
Did you ever sense that Jacob was getting frustrated at all?
I didn't. I felt like he was with his feet, his actions, but not his composure. I didn't think he was getting frustrated, but he got a little happy feet in the pocket at times. And I think it's a growing process. Look, guys, when you go on the road in the SEC, I've been 18 years involved in this conference. It is tough, especially on a true freshman. He saw things out there that didn't exist, and he's growing, and we've got to help him through that with A, the way we call the game, B, the way we run the ball, and C, the receivers catching the ball. Nobody's saying anything if the guy catches the ball and runs it in for a touchdown as opposed to tipping up in the air and ball bouncing around. So, but we got to improve in that area if we're going to get a good football team.
Kirby, how much of a challenge was it to game plan, not knowing if you're going to be playing in conditions on Saturday night or today? And did you expect to be able to kind of split in the run game like you did?
I wouldn't say we expected it. I mean, we thought we were worried about the conditions. We tried to simulate all week, even Friday, but it was all about the wind for me, because the wind affects the game so much. We never thought we would be playing in the rain, even if it was Saturday night. We didn't expect rain. So it was like, are we going to be on a wet field, and how much is the wind going to be? I'm telling you, the wind impacts these games more than you can ever imagine. And it was important to me that we had the wind in the fourth quarter, so that coin toss was critical. And we ended up winning it because I sent Chubb out there, so he always wins the coin toss.
Third quarter, you're moving the ball with some power game, and then you got down there inside the goal, and there's a jet sweep, loses yardage, and then the pass. Did you regret, or was there? Did getting away from kind of the power game?
What we were running the ball with was the power game, but that jet sweep was considered part of our power game. I mean, it was a run that we run with our running backs. We're just going to hand it to Isaiah because he's been able to run, and we had an extra blocker over there. And it didn't work out good because they played a really good defense for it and caught us in it. And I hate that we were in rhythm. We were rolling it down, but I do like the call that we called. It didn't work. So, like I've said before, the decision's never right if it doesn't work. So I'll stick with that.
Kirby, you have 8 Iron Bowls, I guess, in 9 and 10 that were on Friday, so those were shortened weeks. What is, as a staff and a head coach, what are you most concerned about with a short week?
Staff will be fine. We're going to do what we do. They're going to do what they do. It's not about that. It's the recovery of the players that concerns me. And again, I mentioned practice being really important to me. Tuesday, Wednesday being really physical. It's harder to do that when you've got a shortened week. So we got to be smart about what we do.
Do you know what you're doing tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to go out and stretch a stride, give them some stuff to look at on Vandy, but we're going to treat it like as if it was a Sunday. Sunday's their day off, so we can't give them a day off. We're going to go out and do some stuff, but we're not going to do a Monday typical practice. We'll get helmets and we'll do some walkthrough stuff.
Then the rest of the week would be kind of
normal.
How big was Marshall Long for you guys today?
I don't know, you tell me. I thought he did a good job, but I was about ready to go after him on that one pooch. I think he kicked it straight up in the air, but I don't even know what his average was. What was it?
38 and a half.
I knew he hit 2 or 3, and he kicked them away from their guy, which, I mean, they had a new guy back there, and a couple of those punts were rolls where their guy didn't field it. So they probably argue they should have called him and saved 30 or 40 yards of field position, but he did get some rollouts. I think he pinned, 2 inside of 10 maybe? 3 inside of 10. That's huge. I know a couple of them were on rolls, and we practiced that. Dom did a nice job down in one, I know. I think Miko got the other.
How bad was it, did you feel? Did the wind have affected the pass?
Oh, yeah.
The throwing game at all?
I think it did.
Yeah.
I can't 100% verify that, but before the game, we thought it would have an effect, which we came out and tried to run it and not have to throw it. I know it affected several of their balls, but obviously they threw it better than we did, so it's easy for me to say the wind affected it, but I certainly think it did. I thought the ball that Malcolm picked off, hung up on that kid.
How confident did you feel about the running game? Being able to run out of the formations you ran out of a lot of pro-style power sets, being able to have that success coming in?
I didn't know. I don't think you ever know. These kids nowadays, you don't know what state of mind they're coming into the game with. I mean, you can look at our weights, their weights, how big are they, where are they in rushing defense, where are we in rushing offense. It don't matter. I mean, it's who sets their jaw right. It's going to knock them back and believe they're going to be able to run it. And, having Nick, that suits Nick a lot better. I thought Sony had probably one of the best runs I've ever seen. They had 2 guys unblocked. He makes a miss and almost scores. And then we score, 3 plays later. So, those backs are special, and they make you good coaches.
How much better did you feel after that first
possession when you're able to start establishing that physicality and run the ball like you did on that very first drive.
Felt better than I did before the game.
You're talking about the wing. Jacob had a few balls sail on him. Did he ever say anything to you about the ball?
I didn't go ask him. We try not to bring it up to make it an issue. Jim may have talked to him about it throughout the game. I didn't. I don't like confronting him or I don't want him thinking about that. I don't think about executing. And there's probably some other passes that would be easier, but hey, we had a shot. We had another shot that Jim had a great call. It's wide open to Terry. We missed it. It's frustrating. We've had a lot of what we call layups that we missed. If we hit those, everybody's talking about how good our passing game is, but we missed it.
It was 14-0 at halftime, but there was sort of a lot of people try to sense that you guys could have been way ahead, not just two
Yeah, I
scores.
sensed that. I felt like we left one out there right there at the end, the long run, we get the penalty on, and then the ending of the thing, not being able to use a timeout time, all that frustrates you. We really challenged the kids at halftime to go out and make it about running the ball, just try to be dominant.
Were you surprised they went with Orth the whole way?
I'm sorry.
Were you surprised they went with Orth the whole way? And then,
We thought they might change it up at halftime, but hey, that kid gives them a chance to throw the ball. Their two weapons were back at wideout. Those wideouts are going to be good players. 89's going to be a good player for a long time, and so is number 1. He's a good player now. So I think he opened it up and allowed them to do more things.
There's 3 straight games where you, at least results-wise, you guys have improved on the ground. Do you feel like your offensive line maybe gelling a little bit and clicking, maybe playing a little bit better than they were the previous 2-3 games?
I hope so.
It had to be really good that you saw the last 2 minutes of the game, your team really pushing, Terry finding the end zone. What does it say about this team that they were able to keep pushing all the way through the fourth quarter?
They're never going to stop fighting. Look, let's be honest. There's no team in the SEC that's going to stop fighting. We got a resilient group that fights and fights. It's the way it is. We got to fight harder than them. And I really believe that this was the first week of practice that I had sophomores telling guys to run off the field between sets. I had sophomores saying things. They've never done that. And I was almost taken aback. And it made me feel better, win or lose, about where we're headed.
how do you think Nick's handled this year, given that he had the whole offseason to try to come back, and then he's had some ups and downs once the season started? How do you think he's handled it?
Right? I think Nick's a leader. Nick was challenging guys in there at halftime to run the ball. Nick was happy that it was windy.
Are you happy with your pass rush?
No, I'm not happy with our pass rush. We got a long way to go to affect the quarterback. Now, you're going to argue we had 5 sacks. I'm going to say 3 of them were probably in the last drive, 2 of them earlier. Look, we got to be able to rush the passer better and affect the quarterback better without having to pressure with 5 or 6 guys. And we got to improve in that area. Am I glad they had better statistics? Yes. Those guys are working hard. But we've got to affect the quarterback with 4 guys better, because we'll play teams that got probably better offensive lines.
Did Ryan talk about trying to impose their will today? Do you think that this game came as close as they have to doing that?
I'm sorry, I lost you.
The line talked about trying to impose their will out there. Do you think they came as close to doing that today as they have?
Yeah, well, closest they have all year. I thought they did, in North Carolina. I thought, for the most part, they did on Tennessee. So if you say as close as they did all year, I don't know. I don't know. We won't know till the end of the year how good that defense was versus Tennessee's or North Carolina's. I do think that our offensive line has a demeanor about them that they want to run the ball, and that's good. And that's good.
Mr. Gass, did y'all discuss making a quarterback change at all during the game since Jacob? Is that not even a consideration anymore?
It's always a consideration. You think about it at every position, but we didn't consider it today.
On that play that looked like Quincy might have had an interception or not, was that anything that you saw in real time? Was that anything that you wish maybe was reviewed or could challenge?
I actually thought about reviewing it because it's such a big play in the game, changed the game, but I know what they're going to say. I'm sitting there watching it. They called it a catch by the other guy, and they can't reverse that because joint possession goes to them. So I was getting on Quincy. I wanted Quincy to make that play because that would have changed the whole outlook. The game's probably over. There's going to be 4th and 20 or something. It was a huge play in the game, but I didn't think reviewing it was going to do anything because they're going to come up and say, well, joint possession. Plus, they review it anyway. They review every play, so they'd slow it down if they had to.
Did Terry definitely do the right thing running that onside kick?
I don't think so. I think the right thing, did you see the Texas A&M game? He runs down and gets it punched out, but it worked. So what does everybody base it on? Results. But I would suggest to get down, which is what I encourage him to do.
Did you yell at him during the game? I mean, while he was returning it?
He wouldn't hear me. But the valuable lesson to be learned from that.
You guys have at least one more of those undisciplined penalties you talked about.
Oh, yeah, we had several of them. I mean, dumb penalties. I mean, why penalties? I mean, the ball's 50 yards away from me, and I'm gonna go block this guy to show him that I'm tougher than him. Block somebody that's looking at you. Block somebody that's fighting me. Don't hit a guy that ain't looking. I mean, it's not smart. I mean, I'm not gonna put up with it, so it'll be addressed.
Coach, how do you think Japheth is doing commanding the huddle? Do you think that's something he's gotten better at?
Well, he's huddling less, so he's not having to command it as much. But he's improving. I mean, we've got to help Jacob. The people around him got to help Jacob. But he is getting better. He can line guys up, tell them the wrong formation. He can see coverages better now. He's doing a lot of things better. He's got a long way to go. So it's like it's a slow process, and we're trying to get him there. And he is improving.
How do you think he's doing with that no huddle so far?
Today we didn't do as well as we did in the past.